And we're back for the second half of the first game of the Central Regional Tournament from North Little Rock, Arkansas. At halftime, it's the Houston Lonestars 26, the Nashville Kangaroos 7. Teams will switch sides here for this second half as the Lone Stars will be kicking to the left of screen, and the Kangas will be kicking to the right. The Lone Stars, as we mentioned, have had a very busy opening to this season. They hosted the Ruggles Cup at home against the Tulsa Buffaloes and the Baton Rouge Tigers. They won both of their games. They welcomed in the Portland Steelheads and the Austin Crows reserves a couple weeks after that and split against those two. And they lost both of the games of the first leg of the Texas Cup, which is a round robin. It's sort of like a triple round robin, if you will, as the three teams play each other. The Dallas Magpies and the Austin Crows are the other two Texas teams. We'll see them a little bit later on today. Umpire Seth McAvaney has the ball. Team's going into position. He holds the ball off and then doesn't. A little bit of a false start. Now you see, you might be able to see that square in the center. Only 4 players from each team are allowed in that center square. And, well, here comes Jeff Person coming off the ground. I think they may have said that they had 1 extra. Well, I find it funny that Jeff's the head of the umpires, and he was an extra player on there. So maybe he was trying to get some practice. I don't know. In any event, we are just about set. The ball's in the air, and we have footy second half action, and Houston wins the opening hit out there. And then Stuart Job just threw that one on to the left, and it's a tie-up, and we'll have a ball up just seconds into the second half. Ball goes back in the air. One-on-one contest is in on the ruck. There is Michael Jones up against Matt Halub for Houston as the ball goes inside 50. And then a good job of getting it on. Here's Craig. Gives it off. Throws that one on to the right. That one is bending towards the goal, and it ricocheted off a defender in front. Nashville tries to get it. There's a turnover right in front. Kicks for goal, but it's just off to the side for a behind and a 1 point to Houston as Sam Donnelly was right there and probably should have straightened that one out, or will have wanted to straighten that one out. So that takes Houston on to 4-3-27. Nashville 1-1-7. It is a 20-point lead. Soccering that one onto the ground there is Davis as he tries to keep it in. He picks it up. They play on. That one goes inside. That one deflected right back at him, and he was taken down. No call, and then boom! Big hit there on the near side. And then the ball is wrapped up. It's getting a little physical. And you can hear the umpires telling everyone to just calm down a little bit. It's not that serious. I mean, it is, but it isn't. Ball come back in the air, knocked forward again as Halub can't control it. And then it squirts out, and out of all of that is going to be a high tackle. So free kick coming out to the Nashville Kangaroos. And they're trying to spot up the mark. Now, the mark is where as we talk about the mark is where the ball is caught or where the free kick is given as Howe picks it up. That's where the defender can stand, and they can't go in front of that. Oh, good job. Are they going to pay the mark? Yes, they are, as Mitchell came up and just had it long enough for Seth McAvaney to pay him the mark. So here is Mitchell looking for a lead. None forthcoming. He's going to go, floating that one back. It's tipped off the top. Ball goes to ground. It'll roll out of bounds, but a good advantageous situation for the Kangas, who will have that one about 20 meters around from their target, trailing 27-7. So ball comes back in the play. Ball goes to ground. And it'll be a free kick awarded for a high tackle, and Houston will have a chance to clear it out. 4-3-27 Houston, 1-1-7 Nashville. That's on the Little Rock scoreboard. And the ball goes down. And then it's shoveled out of there, and here they come back the other direction as Davis throws that one up on the near side. It takes a hop in front of a teammate there, and it comes to Carcamo as he was fed by Donnelly on the nice bounce. Inside 50 now, and the ball comes back out, picked up by Kirby for Nashville, and then turning that one inside, and it'll bop free. Over to get it there is number 2, and that one is gone through. It's still in play. Up on that far side, soccered back by Houston. One-on-one contest. Soccered again off the ground by Harris. Frosty Harris still out there for the Kangas. That one is thrown. The kick is up towards goal. It's going to go in short. It's juggled, not taken. They play on, and Nashville picks it up. They got to get rid of it, and they do. And the Kangaroos able to get out of danger. And Mitchell, who's been all over the place in that midfield position, he's been their lightning rod. Looking for a lead. He'll go in short, but it's a 2-on-1 disadvantage. But over to pick up the crumbs, and then just getting that one off is 19 for the Kangas. And then I will go in short. That one picked up. Houston, again, with a little bit of desperation, trying to clear it out. Ricochets off. It comes to Dunn, and Dunn gets that one through. And had my head down, didn't see what the call was here. And it looks like it's out of bounds. Thank you, Steve Granfield, who's on doing a great work on camera, mate. And while we're here, we don't want to embarrass you, but we want to thank Mr. Granfield and his efforts with the Little Rock CVB, getting this tournament here in North Little Rock and the creation of the new club, the Little Rock Coyotes. And footy here in Arkansas as they come out to the near side. This is Houston. This is Davis looking up on the near side. Wide open was David Anastas, who's back from Australia, where he finds Carcamo up on the near side, just keeping it in. Handballs it up into the middle where he finds Anastas, or Donnelly rather, who ran on. Long kick into the middle. Marks! And he's going to play that one on, looking for Donnelly, who kicks the goal. Great passage of play by the Lone Stars. Donnelly was the main man. Anastas was there to start it off, and that extends the lead of the Lone Stars. That takes them on to 5-3-33. They're the first goal of the half. Nashville 1-1-7. It's a 26-point advantage. Houston won the Central Region Division II title last year. Nashville had won Division III. We had 12 sides last year, and they were divided up into 3 divisions. We have just the single division here, but I think the single division format does make it a little bit more competitive, I think. Definitely a lot more attention to the footy as the ball gets knocked forward as Nashville tries to answer. Up over the top. That could have been high. It wasn't. They play that one on. Handballs it back. 19 can't get to it. And then Kessel was just able to get it free. It bounces to Person. Person handballs it into the middle. And a whistle. And that'll be a free kick. It looks like a low tackle as Mitchell got legged as opposed to the ZZ Top song. But Mitchell does know how to use him, and he's had a couple of booming kicks. The Kangaroos need a goal if they want to still have the idea that they're in this game. That's a pretty good kick off the boot. It looks pretty good. It is dead center perfect. Great goal by James Mitchell. And that cuts the lead down. Houston 5-3-33. Nashville 2-1-13. It's back to a 20-point lead. Mitchell has had a lot of touches. If I had to guess, and you'll apologize, you'll beg my indulgence for this, I'd say it's probably about a dozen to 15 touches or so. And we talk about touches, we talk about disposals being involved as Evan Ling, the Colonel, comes off for the Kangas, and Gilberto Ortiz, who's been a good pickup for them in the middle. But here's Houston as Carcamo goes in deep. The ball goes inside the forward 50. Ball goes to ground, knocked down, and the ball goes out of bounds as Darren Visteca, who is a veteran of the USA Revolution, played, I believe, 2005 and 2008 in the International Cup. 2005, the best finish ever by the USA at the essentially the World Championship of Australian football, minus Australia, of course, up on that far side. That might have gone out on the full. So if the ball goes out, if it's kicked and it goes straight out on the fly like that, it is a free kick to the other team from the point at which the ball went out of bounds. And here it is for the Lone Stars, as that one is kicked into the forward line. The ball goes out of bounds. Just found the field of play. We mentioned the center square. The other marking on the field that you see is the 50-meter arc. Well, it's generally a 50-meter arc. This was drawn as a 40-meter arc. So this, what you're basically saying, Steve, is this is like the old WAFL back in the 80s before they made the 50-meter. And hopefully I think most of you got that. If you're Australian, you'll probably understand that. But free kick. Actually, no, I'm sorry. Boundary throwing up on that far side. Carcamo and Howell, two of the better athletes of this USAFL competition. As I mentioned, the USA Revolution program. Ball goes to ground, goes in short. Carcamo pushed him out of the way, and he's going to get pinged. You can bump somebody out of the way, but he wasn't facing the ball. He wasn't in the act of playing the ball. So the Kangaroos get it. That one is a nice mark by 19. We'll throw that one onto the right. I believe that's Chris Willis, who is in Dallas, who is playing for the Kangaroos for this particular game. I have a couple of guys on Nashville who I don't have the numbers for, but that does look like Mr. Willis, who is a very tall drink of water. Back the other way they come. Speaking of guys I don't have the number for, number 2, but here is Donnelly. And that's got to be high tackle. In fact, it's going to be pushing the back, but either way, it's a free kick to Houston. They're about 80 meters from goal. They got us trying to set up the mark. Again, it's where the foul occurs. The defensive player can't go forward to that until they play on, and they do play on. Do the Lone Stars go a swing and a miss as Dan Howarda went for it. Howarda, longtime member of this Houston team, he went and swung and missed, and it's a turnover and a free kick is out to the near side. Harris finds Mitchell, who had been playing in the midfield, and that's what good midfielders do. You'll see players, that's what makes footy so great. It's a three-dimensional game. You'll see players straight out of their position. There's no offsides. You can roam all over the field as they want. And the intercept mark was taken by Halub, and he turns the ball over, and back the other way comes Nashville. Straight out in the middle for Freeman. Freeman will go back. Goes in short, knocked free, and another turnover. Looked like he got pushed in the back after the kick, and then the mark taken by Donnelly with a man hanging on him, and he'll go back and have a shot. The kick will come from about 50 meters out. Just on the other side of the paint, so they'll go in short over the top, and it's intercepted. And here comes Nashville the other way. Handball up over the top, looking for Person, who just gets it away. Carcamo digging in. He will get it. He looks like a black stallion here in the Arkansas sun. He throws that one up onto the right, one-on-one. Nice mark. Here is Job. Throws that one onto the left. It's tailing to the right, and it will go through 4 behind. Another point to the Lone Stars, and as time goes on, it looks like this one is heading into their win column. Houston, 5 goals, 4 behinds, 34 points. Nashville, 2-2-13. It is a 21-point margin as the Kangaroos put the ball back in the play from the goal square. The ball gets deflected, and it comes back out. Donnelly handballs it off. A little shake, a little bake. How about some chicken? Throws that one onto the left for goal. It sprays through, and it's off 4 behind. As Richard Veruti, it looked like, was the one that kicked that one. And it's 35-7 now. 5 goals, 5 for Houston, 2-1-13. Halfway point of the second half of this game, here from North Little Rock, Arkansas, Burns Park. Glad to have you with us. I'm Brian Barish here on USAFL.com. First of 9 games we'll have for you here this afternoon. Mark taken And it looks like by Simon Craig, who kicked 2 earlier in the first half. And this one might put the game away. Craig's kick is up on the way. It's tailing left. It stays in the field of play. And it's gone through for a behind. So another score to the Lone Stars. It is 6-6-36. Nashville 2-1-13. 36-13, a 23-point margin. And there is Chris Fielder with another defensive mark. Nashville having trouble getting the ball from the kick-ins, and that's a 50. So what happened here was that where the mark was, where the catch was taken, that's where the defensive player has to stand. If they don't give the ball back straight away, or if they come over that mark before they get rid of it, then it's a 50-meter penalty. So that's why Fielder is moving up closer to the goal. And another goal here would certainly ice it for the Lone Stars. Fielder's kick is up on the way. It's short. Is it there? No, it's tipped on the line, and that will count as a behind. 7th behind of the game for the Lone Stars. That takes them on to 5-7-37. The behinds are sort of racking up, and Houston a couple of weeks ago in that Texas Cup game against Austin, who has that 25-game winning streak, they had more scoring shots than the Crows, but they kicked 2 goals, 8 behinds, and lost by 5 points. And the Lone Stars, they were telling me earlier today, not happy about that. They felt that they were the better team on the day. But that's what happens in footy if you don't execute. As Nashville kicks out one into their forward circle. Off the hands there of Thornton for Nashville, and then Houston will scuttle it out of there, and ball go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. Again, our thanks to the folks at the Little Rock CVB for helping us put on this tournament in beautiful Little Rock, Arkansas. I had never been here before, to be honest, and very nice town, beautiful town with good people. Carcano, look at him go left and right. It looks like a dressage horse. That one goes up high. It drops to ground. Nashville scurrying back is Camarina. He was taken down. They'll play on into the middle. It wasn't clean, but it'll be there for the goal. As Josh Devlin gets his second of the game, and a good job by the forward there in Craig, who put the pressure on and forced the turnover. 6-7-43 to Nashville, 1-1-13. It's a 30-point difference, 5 straight kicks. As we get, that is on the Little Rock scoreboard, as we are here in North Little Rock, just on the other side. The Arkansas River, by the way, is directly behind us, and a beautiful vista, which hopefully we'll get to take some pictures. And if you follow our Twitter at usafl.com, play on, says the umpires. Nashville kicks that one inside 50. That one will skip in, and a handball picked up. And then get away. Good job there by Klein-Hines, who was able to get it away. And then up on the near side, one-on-one, looking for Devlin, but Nashville able to get it away. Devlin had to dig in and then come up, kicking up onto the near side, off the hands of Szabo. Houston's got it, just got it away. Klein-Hines again as he handballs it on along the boundary line. Kept in. Ball goes to ground as he threw that one onto the back. Big hit in there by Whitehead. And the ball will be called in. Or check that wasn't Whitehead. That was Veruti. And a free kick out to the near side. Veruti finds a target there in Huerta. So here is Dangerous Dan Huerta. Kicks that one inside the circle. That one goes in. It bounces away. Picked up, stood up, and then thrown to the ground. And out of all of that, it's going to be holding the ball. He fell to the ground and didn't get rid of it. And in the end, it'll be a free kick coming out for the Nashville Kangaroos, who trail 43-13. here in the latter stages of the second half of this first game. This is Pool A. Both of these teams will play the Austin Crows a little bit later on today. Out to the near side. Skips by the man in Evan Ling, the Colonel. And the ball will go out of bounds for a boundary throw-in. We mentioned some of the other teams in this tournament. In the other pool, we've got the Dallas Magpies, and then we have two combo sides. As the ball goes off the hands of Craig, and then he tried to make the tackle. And, in fact, it'll be a ball up. The ball up will occur 50 meters from or 40 meters just at the top of the paint, and that one is slapped forward by the Lone Stars, but Visteca gets to it, comes out to the near side, crash, boom, opera. Nashville, as I look at it, I believe they're missing Nugget Cosnahan as the kick is on for goal and it's off to the side by Matt Halub, who's had a red-hot crack here in the second half. 8th behind of the game. That is 6-8-44 to 2-1-13. It is a 31-point lead for the Lone Stars, and that one is speared out into the middle, up high, knocked down by Jones for Nashville. And a whistle as the ball had come up, and instead we'll have a ball up. If you've watched Aussie rules before and you're American, you might be wondering why they're not bouncing the ball. Well, the ground is just too soft. And a word about this surface. This is a very, very good playing surface. Yeah, a little bit of dew here in the morning, but I think most of it has gone off. And speaking of going off, the game has gone off, and that is the final whistle. And the Houston Lone Stars, it was back and forth for most of the first half. The Lone Stars seize control of the game, and they go on to win convincingly here in the opener of the Central Regional Tournament here in North Little Rock. Final score lines read: the Houston Lone Stars, 6 goals, 8 behinds, 44 points. The Nashville Kangaroos, 2 goals, 1 behind, 13 points. Goal scorers for the Lone Stars: Josh Devlin with 2, Simon Craig with 2, Jesse Carcamo and Samuel Donnelly each had singles. James Mitchell and Reese Cunningham, goal scorers for the Kangaroos. That's the first half of this one. We'll have other games from this Central Regional Tournament during the course of the game. Keep an eye out on our YouTube channel, on our Facebook at facebook.com/USAFL, on Twitter at USAFL1997, and on our website, USAFL.com. Until then, this is Brian Barish. It's goodbye for now.